The Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, the
Trump's
reality,
74 and he's fat and he kicked it in 4 days.
yeah, but
I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
what did they give that guy? They gave him everything. He's the
What?
president of the United States.
But it works. They have a thing. If you give them everything, it
Yeah,
works.
sure,
it works
but-
for fat old guys.
Yeah, but he's getting stuff that's very different from what you would get just walking into urgent care in Encino.
Don't go to urgent care in Encino. Go to Cedar Sinai. They'll hook you up with whatever he's got.
Yeah.
Do you think is he getting things that you can't get?
Yes.
In all seriousness.
Yeah.
Are you sure? How do you know
100%, because the first thing is a trial drug that hasn't been approved yet. They're not just handing that out at Cedars.
Is that the
The
what
first
is-
thing.
That's Remdesivir?
No,
How do I say that?
No, everyone can get that.
Remdesivir?
Remdesivir.
Remdesivir. Anyone can get that.
Anyone can get
And then
remdesivir.
what is the other stuff they gave
But the
him?
other thing he got was like the plasma-related
Right.
therapy.
You can't get that everywhere?
No,
Why can't you?
because you're not the president of the United
Or
States.
maybe the liberal media is trying to keep that from you so that you stay sick so that they can get Biden into the White House. Ever think about that?
All right, now wait a second. I literally last night, because I literally was like, there is definitely so much confusion because that side is ramping up the fear 100%, making it scarier than it is, so they can get him in to be president. And the other side is definitely saying from Trump on down, don't worry about this thing. So it makes it look like we did a good job and the economy comes back and all that stuff. So I'm like, this cognitive dissonance, like what is real? What I watched Tucker Carlson, he made sense for a minute. And then I watched, I watched Anderson, he made sense for a minute. And I was like, let me lift off into the satellite and let me just look at the world.
Yeah.
Let me see what's happening in the world.
Right.
Just that's not involved in this election. Spain, France, Moscow, the Netherlands, all opened up a little too much, and now we're all putting restrictions back. Everything's spiked.
Yeah,
coming
but
back.
if you want to look at other countries, look at Sweden because they opened up completely and they have less cases and now they're back to normal. They have no masks. You go to a bar, no one's. Obviously, it's a smaller country.
Smaller country.
Less-
I mean, look.
Less people. They
Yeah.
they live in different sort of circumstances. They have mostly smaller villages,
Right.
other than Stockholm, but
Yeah.
they're fine.
I know, but if you look at Spain and you look at France and you
Right.
look at Moscow, I mean, these places, there's no political agenda in these places. There's no political agenda. It's just they opened up and they said, let's go all open. And the cases skyrocketed, and now they have to like bring it back a little bit. It's this, the virus is a real thing, eating all these extra humans. And, you
Eating
know,
all these
it's-
extra human. What the fuck? What are you saying? The
We-
virus is a real thing. Eating all these extra humans.
Yeah.
What is that?
What do you mean?
What kind of way to describe it is that?
Well,
the
don't you-
virus is
that's
a
how
real
I look
thing.
at it.
Eating all these extra humans.
We have extra humans right now. We have way too many humans.
You can't say it like that.
Well, it's the truth. You know how sometimes you have moss that's growing and
Mm-hmm.
it comes up just up to the edge of the walkway and you're like, that looks pretty.
Right.
And then it starts going over onto the brick and starts covering. We are the moss and we're covering the bricks now, and something's showing up and scaling us back a little bit.
Or there was an experimental virus that they were working on in the Wuhan, level 4 lab, and it got out. Sweden,
Do you
which
think that's where it
refused
came
COVID
from?
lockdown, says restrictions will remain for at least another year. Yeah, but the restrictions are very different. The
But there's-
restrictions are for really large gatherings, but you can go to restaurants, you can go to bars, you can go to all
Yes,
those places.
but there's still restrictions. The virus is a real thing go all around the planet, and it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be till June, by the way, I heard in Denver.
What do they know? How do they know that in Denver? Are they the people who told you about eating up extra humans? Jesus.
They told me that this pilot was talking to me at the show, and he said his doctor of some note was saying that all of our pandemics have lasted 18 months. Despite what we try to do, restrictions, no restrictions, it runs its course. 18 months is about where the fire starts to subside and you go back to normal. Historically speaking. And this one, and because it's 100 years in between pandemics, nobody's around to like give you lessons from the last one. So we make all the same mistakes. And if you go by that, it's about June from when this virus started. We're talking about June when we're back to normal, which is kind of upsetting, but kind of nice also that you have an end date. You know, it's kind of like, all right, that's annoying. I got to wear masks and do all this stuff and be kind of messed up. But till June, That's kind of nice. I can maybe make some plans. I can make a 4th of July plan.
How many businesses are we going to lose between now and June, though? I think the real issue is people putting restrictions on what people can and can't do. That's the real problem. Is you're basically giving up your constitutional rights, and there's no real protection for you this way, right? There's no real protection for your business. There's no real protection for your livelihood.
Well,
and even with all this,
Yeah.
you're still dealing with other kinds of horrible deaths and other kinds of horrible things that go along with the
Sure.
economic despair.
Sure.
Like how many people are going to die because of drug overdoses?
Or depression or
how many people are gonna die?
suicide.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these have to be factored in too.
They totally do, and I really get the feeling like, but there's the middle ground between
Right, but the
the
middle-
CNN narrative and this Fox narrative. There's the truth, and I saw it in Portland, I saw it in Connecticut, I saw it in Salt Lake City.
What are you saying?
I've performed in all these places, and they are all wearing masks, but their businesses are open,
Yes.
and
Well, that's what we
they're
should have had in
testing.
LA a long time ago.
Yes, they're testing. They've got the masks on. They're distancing. Like I ate in restaurants, but it's limited capacity. I performed in comedy clubs, half capacity.
But here's the thing,
Not just
Matt.
because of my comedic draw.
I don't think that that's scientific, because there's aerosol. The virus is carried through the air now.
Yeah.
This has pretty much been confirmed.
Yeah.
They used to think it carried through droplets, which is the reason for the whole 6-foot social distancing space. They don't think that's the case anymore. They think it's airborne.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, all that social distancing stuff is horseshit because it's in the air.
But not if you're social distanced and have a mask on.
I'm telling you, the social distancing thing doesn't mean anything anymore.
Gotcha.
What they're
So
saying
you can be
is
close with a mask, but
can
you're
be-
still in a mask.
a lot of these masks have holes in them.
Well, yeah, but
A lot of these masks, like you see these paper masks that people have with the wire, there's an opening in the top, there's openings in the side.
There's a
Now,
lot of
look, I'm
sketchy
not
masks.
saying it's not a good idea to wear a mask, and maybe it reduces some of the droplets that go out.
100%.
Maybe. I'm not a scientist, neither are you.
I'm
but
not.
What I am saying is, I don't know how much. I think what you're getting is you're getting a lot of people that are healthy and they're going out and they don't have it and they're not giving it to anybody because they don't have it, and you're getting away with it. And everybody's wearing masks, and it's good to be cautious. But I don't necessarily know if you were in a room filled with people who had COVID and unless you had an N95 mask, unless you have a real mask, I don't know if those fucking cloth masks are going to help you.
I think they work. I mean, because look, you look at these
Why-
places.
Here, what are you basing that on?
I'm basing it on cities where they have the mask as a thing, and they made it mandatory that you wear these masks, and the numbers go down.
Everyone does.
Everyone does what?
Everywhere you have to wear a mask. The whole country.
Well, now, but it wasn't. I mean, this was fits and starts, and people screwing around.
There's all sorts of weird shit.
I
Like,
traveled-
The protests were a big kick in the virus. That was a giant uptick.
Right, of
Right?
course, and there was a lot of people out there with no masks.
Not just that, they were just bumper to bumper with each other. They were right
Yeah.
next to each other and screaming.
Right, exactly.
And it's in the air,
Exactly.
especially at nighttime. They think the sun kills it, like almost instantly.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there's been studies on UV light, and UV light kills it almost instantly.
Right.
So sunlight and even simulated sunlight can kill it.
Look. Any precaution? It's you're playing the odds.
Yeah.
Right. You want to do all the things that you can. To,
I want the steroids that Trump's on. That's what I want.
I want them too.
They-
And
they
I
put
want the
same-
vaccine. I
the
want
same shit that The Rock had when he was doing Jumanji. That's what they gave him. They gave him all the good stuff.
Yeah, the really good stuff and shots in the ass.
Did you see his
I
tweets?
remember when you were a kid and you got a shot in your butt cheek.
I do.
Those things worked. That's what we need to bring back. Ass cheek shots.
What shots did they give you in your butt?
I don't know, but they worked.
Remember.
And you didn't want to go back to the doctor
Did they
and have
really
some
work?
man take your pants off and make you cry in front of your mom, so you stayed healthy.
I never cried on my
How funny would it be if you sticking your ass out of your car window to get your vaccine?
That would be hilarious. If everybody just like parked with their butt right up to their driver's side window.
So look, all of this is kind of like it's going to run its course,
Hold on a second here.
but you can do things.
Conley
to calm it
also
down.
revealed Trump has been treated with dexamethasone, an immunosuppressant steroid that can cause euphoric mood changes. Well, there's his tweets.
That's him.
Since
That's
then,
him doing wheelies
people
in the
have post-
parking lot.
Since then, people have posted online about their own experience with the drug. Interesting. An immunosuppressant. That's what's interesting, too, is like they say that one of the things that happens with this disease is you actually don't want the immune system to react too violently to the disease, which
Yeah,
is or
I read about that.
too aggressively to the disease. So they're given. I don't understand the logic behind that because I'm stupid.
I
But-
tried to read that article. It was complicated. Like it made me think how amazing the human body is. This immune system, like there's stages of the immune system. Like it originally comes out and gives you a dose of stuff and surrounds the virus,
Yeah.
and then it goes up, and then it ramps up, and then it reboots, and then it like sends another part. It was like 4 stages of what your immune system does, and because it has to be ramped up to attack this virus, it could actually hurt you more than the virus.
Well, here it says, what does dexamethasone do? Dexamethasone is a corticosteroid hormone that decreases the body's natural immune response and reduces swelling and allergic reaction symptoms. This medication treats a number of conditions, including asthma, IBS, Crohn's disease, and a number of lymphomas. It is used to treat COVID-19 because serious cases can provoke an exaggerated immune response, releasing a large number of pro-inflammatory cytokines, in which is known as a cytokine storm. I've heard of that. As immunosuppressant, dexamethasone is thought to help reduce the likelihood of the body's overreaction to the virus. Researchers found dexamethasone to significantly reduce mortality among seriously ill, i.e. hospitalized COVID-19 patients. Scientists have said it may prevent 1 in 3 deaths among patients on ventilators.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they threw the kitchen sink at it immediately.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yeah, you're the president of the United States. You should get everything they possibly have.
All I'm getting at this by fucking with you here is that in these times where things are very unsure, a lot of times people like to say exactly what you need to do and what's happening.
Right.
As long as people do this, we're okay. As long as we wear a mask, we're okay. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's the case.
Okay,
I
but
think we're all going to get it. That's what I think.
Well, that is
Within 3
that
years,
is the
4
reality
years.
of what I'm saying. That doctor's saying that it goes 18 months.
But I don't know if
Because-
18 months mean everybody gets it. You're going to come in contact with it.
Right.
And some people's immune system just beats it. Episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience are now free on Spotify. That's right, they're free. From September 1st to December 1st, they're going to be available everywhere. But after December 1st, they will only be available on Spotify, but they will be free. That includes the video. The video will also be there. It'll also be free. That's all we're asking. Just go download Spotify. Much love. Bye-bye.